flexing in China. Things are in a state of flux, and in the U.S. things are much more stabilized, and you can have some level of dependency on the rule of law. And in China, is sort of sometimes whoever carry the biggest stick. Okay. As far as the freedom of speech type of stuff goes, in private you can certainly talk all you want. You can criticize the government. People joke about all that, but just generally not in public. And so it depends on who's in charge. The current prime minister that's in charge, premier, I guess the Xi Jinping, the guy who's in charge right now. Because recently, for instance, he's been anti-corruption, right? And due to it, so by using that rhetoric of anti-corruption, he goes around and rounding up anybody that's not on his side. Last year was on a flight from Shanghai back to Hong Kong, and the plane already left the gate, is taxiing toward the runway, and the pilot stopped the plane and turned around, went back to the gate because they were arresting 2 people on the plane. The next day I came back to Hong Kong and read the news. There was one of the big billionaires or something under investigation for corruption. In that sense, though, whatever the government feels like doing, it would just do it. It's not like there is much of it has to go through due process. Yeah, so China is much more it's very much of a free capitalistic society at the moment. So it's not a communism. So in a way that China could achieve what it did in the last 20 years because it's not a democracy. Right? So if it was a democracy, you would get something closer to India. And it's in the large population democracy, which is, the both side has enormous corruption, right? And even the democracy, it still comes with a lot of enormous corruption, vote buying and all that. And then they couldn't really come to any consensus, and they also have huge wealth disparity issues. And but the things move much slower when you have a democracy. So now the history seems to think that China at least made some right decision in the last 20, 30 years, so that it was able to move the overall well-being of the entire nation up very rapidly in a global scale, right? So if that was actually started off right from the beginning, they trashed communism and turned it into a true democracy, then things would have been probably much slower.